Hello. In this video, or this series of videos, I'm going to try to cover these topics from scratch. So, someone had posted a question the other day I saw about having to use React and GitHub and VS Code and having been sort of thrown into it and feeling uncertain about what to do. So, I'm going to try to go through all this from scratch. Like I said, while I used all of these things, I haven't done all of this from scratch in a while, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Maybe I'll get it all done in one video, or maybe there'll have to be several. But I'm going to try to cover it in this order, starting with React, and then going to Git and GitHub, and then VS Code. So just to give a real quick description of each of these things, React is a framework, and so it's essentially a bunch of JavaScript code created by Facebook that you can use to create your own web applications, essentially. So to use React, it's good to have some familiarity with HTML and JavaScript because those things come into play. Also, CSS gets in there. But it's also its own topic. Git and GitHub, well, Git is software that's used, it's version control software, essentially. So as you are writing your code, you can, what you'll do is occasionally create a commit where you want to take essentially a snapshot of your code in its current state and have that saved somewhere safe. And that place it can be saved safely is on your computer, and also if you sign up, you can save it on GitHub, and then it makes it easy to collaborate with others. Git is a huge topic to go over, and it's really not necessary to fully understand Git. I don't think most developers fully understand Git because it's not really the main point. It's there to be a tool for you, and most of the time you're going to use it in a fairly simple way, and the only time you're ever going to have to dive deeper is if something goes wrong. But if something goes wrong, it's got your back, so it's nice. And then finally, VS Code is maybe the simplest topic, but it's an IDE, an integrated development environment. Basically, we use it as a text editor for code. It's smart about your code and understanding what you're trying to type and all that kind of thing, if that makes any sense. And another aspect of VS Code that I'll look at is tying Git and GitHub into VS Code using an extension. So often you'd be on the command line typing in Git commands, but you can also just do it directly from inside VS Code, and it's pretty straightforward in there, so that's nice. I really struggled with what order I wanted to do these in, and I'm not sure this is the best one, but this is what we're going to try out. We're going to start out with React. So I'm going to really be doing a lot of Googling. I happened to come here just a minute ago, so it knows that when I type React, I actually just want to look at their documentation. And I highly recommend getting into the habit of going to the documentation. If you're lucky, something has good official documentation. If it doesn't have good official documentation, you're in for a rough time, probably, unfortunately. They talk about different ways you can use it. I was looking through this a little bit earlier, like I said, and there's a choice you have to make here. They're saying you can use these full stack frameworks, and there's another technique they talk about here, other frameworks, or building it from scratch. I'm going to go ahead and try this approach, React Router version 7. And this, it says, React Router is the most popular routing library for React and can be paired with Vite to create a full-stack React framework. So Vite is something else. I haven't gone through all this stuff. I haven't tested everything out because I want to go through this for the first time. So I'm on this computer that I haven't installed a bunch of stuff on. Oh, I should say with the exception of one thing. So there's a preliminary here. The first thing you want to do is you want to get Git. So for me, I'm on a Macintosh, and I decided that the simplest way to do this for me would be to install Xcode. Now, if all you want is Git, Xcode is way overkill. But if, like me, you might be interested in working with other programming languages, or even, going into something like app development, in that case, having Xcode is going to be a necessity at some point. And another reason I wanted it, I want to make videos like this, and I want to be able to use the command line tools, which are very simple, and you can get them for pretty much any platform. But unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever, one of the simplest ways to get those command line tools on your Mac is by installing Xcode, which again is unfortunately kind of overkill, but it gets the job done. And if you're on a Mac or any other platform, you could also just, for Git, go to its website, which is git-scm.com, and you can install it. If you are on a Mac, it's going to be complicated a little bit to install it if you don't go the Xcode route. I think other platforms hopefully are a little simpler. And then I had sort of gone through and made up a little thing here of what I want to go over. So React, we're going to have to install React, and etc., etc., which will include Vite and React Router probably, and then we're going to create our React Router app. Then we're going to go to Git. We're going to sign up for like I said, you want to have Git installed already on your machine one way or another. So here in the video, we're going to go to GitHub and create an account, create what's called a repository on GitHub, initialize our local repository, connect the local repository to the remote repository so that we can have changes stored and tracked on our local machine as well as on GitHub. And then finally, the last thing will be to talk about VS Code, install that, and make sure we have Git all wired into that. So back to this. Like I said, I haven't done this in a while. I don't know exactly how this is all going to go down as I try to do these steps. They're saying that to create a new React Router framework, you can run this command here. I don't know if I have npx installed at this point or not. We'll find out. Alright, let's try it out and see what happens. Not found. Okay, so we're going to go here. We're going to do this. It's a node. Yeah. So do I have any of this stuff installed? So what I really want is to install is npm. I don't think I have this yet. I'll just double check. No. Alright, we're gonna have to start with this. Alright, so this is the Node version manager that I'm gonna have to use to get this other stuff, and I'm gonna have to use to get this other stuff. So they have these two commands here. They're just designed to be run in your command line, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Aha! I have not agreed to the Xcode license agreement. Sounds bad. Better do that. Please run this command, it says. Sudo means it's going to ask me for my password. And run it as the root user. Okay. Type agree, press enter. Okay. Now, let's just check. Do I have npm still? No, okay. Let's try this again. I don't know what it's. Oh, okay. La-di-da-di-da. Okay. Okay, now I haven't done any developing work on this machine at all before, so it prints out this interesting error. It says profile not found. I tried this, it tried that, I tried all these places, and it couldn't find a profile. And this is going to be something. Essentially, what this is doing is every time you log in to your account on this machine, whatever your machine, or when you create a new bash session like this, I just opened up a new tab and launched a new bash session, it would run this profile script. And so this is telling me that it couldn't find a profile. It wants me to create one of these files and then run this script again, or append the following lines to the correct file. So if I had another one that wasn't listed here, which I don't, but I would put this in it. And so, see what's happening here. They want in the profile to export this environmental variable, which is just how it's going to know where this particular folder is, an invisible .nvm folder in my user directory. And then what is happening down here? -s. This loads nvm. Okay. Okay. I will go ahead and go with .profile. So I'm gonna, first of all, copy this. I'm going to use very simple text editor here on the command line. I don't get any cool cred for using this, but that's okay. Create .profile, paste in the text I want, save this on my way out. Now, Say run this script again. I guess I have to run the whole thing again. I don't know. This seems a little bit like overkill, but let's see what happens. No, they didn't like that. Oh, I didn't need to run it again because I put the thing in there myself. Okay, anyway, let's try something out. This is dir. Yeah. Okay, so I just tried. I had opened up my new command line here, and just to make sure that this code had worked in my profile, I said echo out this environmental variable in VR directory, and everything looks good. So I'm going to continue from this new window, go back here, and okay, that's interesting. So usually if you run which and then the name of a binary executable, like I don't know, it'll tell you the path to it. That didn't happen, so I thought it wasn't installed, but then when I tried calling the command, it looks like it ran it. Okay, so now that we have this Node version manager, try to use it to install Node and all of the attendant stuff. My dog Pearl is not impressed, but she often gets that feeling, you know. Pearl. Oh gosh. I am echoing. Oh no. Okay. Okay. That worked. So we should have this good to go. Alright, let's just go back to here and give this original command to try again. So it looks like it's working. It says it has to install a package. Do we want to proceed? Yes, we do. It's always fun to get warnings, deprecation warnings on just some official piece of software you're trying to install. Alright, so I told it to create a new project in my home directory and call it first React app. Do you want to initialize a new Git repository? I do. Is it going to work? Install dependencies with npm, sure. Once this all finishes installing and we have our sort of default, basically empty React app, these instructions are showing how we can then run it. So in this case, what's going to happen is React or Vite, honestly, I'm not exactly sure of the details here. We're going to spin up a web server that is going to serve your React app, and then you can look at it in your web browser. Okay, good. We're all done here. Let's see. Currently I'm in here. I want to go. It's not there. Oh my gosh. Did they create? Oh man, this is kind of funny. It created a directory called tilde, which is not what I intended. I expected it to put it in my user folder, my home directory, which is what that usually means. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna see if that works. Yeah, okay. Now we've got this. Okay. I really need to get this the heck out of here. Hopefully I can do this. Gosh, this feels really dangerous. RM, get rid of this stupid fucking directory. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 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 I didn't nuke my home directory. Okay, so I'm going to cd into my first React app, and then I'm going to npm I, or install, and it's going to install all of the necessary packages, which apparently was just one. And then we are going to run dev, as it says right down here, and it's going to start a web server. All right, so it's showing us that it is running, it's available at this address. Localhost is just your own computer, and then it's on port 5173. Press H and then enter to see help, and I'm doing that in part because I know that it's showing me a few commands here. The profiler, never use that. You can restart the server, show the server URL again, clear the console, quit, or what I really want to do is open in the web browser. So I'm going to type O and then hit enter. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure I set Firefox as my default web browser earlier, but maybe that was a dream I had. Either way, it's okay. Okay. This is good. This is the default React app. We could go in and start looking at the source code if I hadn't decided to have VS Code be the last thing we do. But hopefully we'll get to that pretty soon.